Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And first of all, well, I'm sorry if your routine was disturbed, as mine was yesterday after a total fail on my video editing software. But luckily somebody from the supplier got in touch to my plea, and I was able to upload the video of genuinely approachable puzzles. So just in case you were looking for a video at our normal release time yesterday and you don't think one came out except a crossword video, there was one later. So check that out in case you haven't seen it already. Now, thank you for the very kind comments on the crossword video, which was originally intended for Patreon. We know that most people who follow this channel aren't expecting to see crossword videos posted normally, except maybe as sometimes a bonus. But I was very amused and flattered by some of the comments posted and the weirdness of the vocabulary that I know, to be honest. Somebody asked I couldn't actually tell with what expression, "What are you drinking?" and that, which I interpreted not so much as a "let me know what drink you've decided to have today" as "are you on drugs of some sort?" And, well, I mean, obviously I'm happy to reveal that there is no product placement in these videos, certainly none paid, unfortunately. Anyway, what I was drinking then was some sort of squash, I would think. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to have a look at a puzzle called Crystal by Codec, which I am looking forward to. I think Simon normally gets to do Codec puzzles on this channel, but today it's me. And we'll have a look at that in a moment. Now, this is a between lines puzzle, and that is relevant to Jovial's extraordinary Sudoku extravaganza, which is doing so well on Patreon. We are getting hundreds of entries to her incredible piece of work, and I am going to mention the between lines puzzle in it, which I think is number 18, and which was one of the two that I found much more difficult than the others. Number 3 and number 18. The third in line and the anti-penultimate were the two I found the hardest, which may just be me, but maybe it's because between lines is quite a difficult genre, and we'll find out today. So what else have we got going on? Well, I think we've got a podcast episode coming soon, which could be popular. Don't know. I'm not sure exactly when that's out. We have various things going on, frankly, at the moment. Of course, there's always our apps available. Now, what else is there going on? I'm sure I was reminded of something recently. Yes, setter videos. We've got at least one, maybe two lined up, and they could be with you soon. So really pleased about that. I think the next one might be by Shy. Simon will probably have told you already today. Anyway, that's going to be quite exciting too. Everything that you want to find is on the links under the video or in the other videos on the channel. If it's not there yet, that means it hasn't come out. But Patreon can be found and Discord in those links, as can this puzzle. So what is a between lines Sudoku? Well, normal Sudoku rules apply, and between any two connected dots, the numbers in between must be literally in between those numbers. So this could be a 9 and a 7 here, and then 8 would have to come between them, say, because the numbers on the line must be between the ones in the circles that line connects. So down here, these numbers must be at least 4 digits apart, so you can fit 3 in between. You could have 1 and 5 in the circles, 2, 3, 4 on the line, and those are the rules. Now, with that, 3 given digits only. Apparently this is enough. I like the name crystal. I kind of see this as a crystalline structure of rhombi and so on. And excellent. Looking forward to this. Do give it a go on the link under the video. You might want to check this video length. Codec's not always the most easy of compilers or constructors. And I'm going to give it a try now. Let's get cracking. So, how do we start? Lots of short lines and not many long ones. I suppose column 1 uses Right, where can 1 and 9 be in this puzzle? And the answer is never on a line. Always in a circle or a white cell, but never on a line. So none of these, actually maybe I'm going to highlight these just for a moment at least, and say none of those can be 1 or 9. Right, so where does 1 go in column 4? It goes here. That's neat. And now column 2, that highlighting has paid off in spades. Where can 1 go in column 2? There's only 3 white cells there, and 2 of them are seeing individual 1s. So we get a 1 there. 1 is now in one of those 2 places. One of these 2, one of those 2 in box 7. Wow. Ah, one of these 2, no, that's not that helpful, in box 5. Oh, look, though, this is a sort of skewed X-wing. It means that the 1s for columns 7 and 9 are used up. So there's a 1 in one of these 2 places, and now we've got an X-wing across rows 4 and 5. And that must be the 1 in row 6. So that was incredibly useful as an exercise. In fact, we're not finished. That sorts out the 1 in box 7 and box 9 and box 3. And that was an unbelievably valuable exercise. Now, let's see if, unfortunately, we've got no given 9s, but we've now got a 1 in the grid. So where do 9s go here? Let me just mute that, because once a WhatsApp conversation starts going, people keep replying. Right. Where does a 9 go? It could be there, which is interesting, because that would have to be a 5, I think, then. But unfortunately, a 9 could easily be here, in which case this would be a low number, but it doesn't even have to be a 2, no. Right, so 9 is in one of those 2 cells. Yeah, sorry, look, there's a row, there's a useful row with only 1 more white cell in, that's where 9 goes. Right, and that sorts out my box 4. So then we get the 9 in column 2. We're away with 9s. Right, now that can't be a 9. So 9 is now here, and that's sorted out the X-wing on 1s. Beautiful. That gives us a 9 here. 9 in one of those 2 cells. Maybe we'll get another X-wing we can resolve. Oh, 9 in one of those 2. No, that's a 9. So that has sorted out this 9. 9 here. We've done all the 9s. All the 9s and all the 1s done. Right, now let's get rid of that highlighting. Or, no, let's not yet, actually. Because can we use it for 2s and 8s next? Because, okay, no, we can't, actually. Where there is a 1 or a 9 here, for instance, you can have 2 and 8. So I'm just going to experiment for a moment with removing. Right, where there's a 1 or a 9 on the circle. Ah, no, you can't have a 2 even in these cells, because that can't be a 1. Okay, so it's selective now. Where 1 can't be in a circle, there can't be a 2 on a line. Right. So what about this stuff? None of those can be a 2, because 1 can never be in a circle at one end of those lines. So one of these has to be a 2. That's not bad. These don't have a 2. Right, so where's the 2 in this row? Let's be careful here, because although it cannot be there, there, or there, it could be on this blue cell, because that 1 allows it. So 2 is in one of those. And that means it's in one of those cells. But that can't be a 2. That can't be a 2. They can't be 2. That can't be 2 because of this. I should have seen that. This can't be a 2 because that can't be a 1. So I think, I just want to check my logic here. We can place, yeah, we can place that as a 2. So in fact 2 is on the green cell, the blue cell there. One of these is a 2. It's quite likely to be that one. Oh, and over here, I suppose any of those 3 can be a 2. Okay. That's not too bad though. No, actually, weirdly, this one can't be a 2, because that would mean the 2 in box 9 was there, and that's impossible to have 2s on both ends of the line in the circles. So 2 in one of those positions. Okay, well that's not bad, especially as, well, I was going to say especially as we have a given 8, but yeah, okay, where does 8 go? Oh no, it's not so good. Sorry, I was going to say, where does 8 go in column 9? It can't be in those 3 cells, because you can't get a 9 into one of the circles, but it's not having to be there, because it could be here or here. No, it can't be here, because that can't be in another circle on a line with a 9. So 8 is in one of those 2 cells, so that's not dreadful. And 8 can't be there, because that would have to be 8.5, which is silly bobbins. Right. Now, that can't be 8 at least. So 8's in one of those 3 cells. Maybe I shouldn't really corner mark round a corner, because I might miss what that means at some point. I think 8 can easily be in those, or that, or that. So maybe my project with 8s has run out. What about here? 8 can't be there because of this 9. Or there because of the same 9. So 8 is in one of those corners. Okay, I don't think the shading is helping anymore, so I am now getting rid of the colouring. And now we're just looking at the grid again. We've got 9s and 1s done. We've got a few 2s, 1 or 2 8s placed only. Now what? I suppose we can look at this cell. In the column, obviously these come between it, so the most it can be is 5. So that's 3, 4 or 5. Yeah, that works fine here with the 2 already excluded from the line. But this cell sees 1, 2 and 9. So, and it can't be an 8 because it's too close to a 9 on a line. So that is 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. What comes between these? Well, I suppose anything within 3 or 7. So 4, 5 or 6. Can we limit this? I mean, it could be a 2. I think it could be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, which is quite a few numbers to pencil mark, but it has a decent effect on this. This now can't be 2 or 7 because it wouldn't allow that to be filled. So surely we can do the same here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, 3, 4, 5 or 6 here, and now we've got a quadruple. So maybe the simpler way to spot this pair would have been just to consider where 7 and 8 can go in this box, and you could work out that because a bigger number couldn't get onto the circle, they couldn't be in those positions. But there we go, that's how I've done it. 7 and 8 are a pair here. Now, something I've just thought of is, if you had a 4 on the end of a line with this, it would be impossible, because you'd have a 4 here, say 3, 4 or 5 here. You could never put anything in the middle. So none of these can be a 4, which doesn't really do much to help, does it? No, I don't think so. Twos. Crumbs, what next? Two is in one of those positions, isn't it? So if that was a 2, we'd have a 2 there and a 2 there and a 2 here. That would be quite interesting because you couldn't have a 3 here once that was a 2. So 3 would now have to be on this line instead. But that's possible. It would stop that being a 3. Oh, well, hang on. Can this be a 3? If that was a 3, you'd have 4, 5. So one of these would be a 3 and one would be a 6. You'd definitely have a 2 7 pair up here. Oh, I don't know. That does work. Okay, I'm missing the point here somewhere. What do I need to be thinking about here? 9s, 8s. If that was a 2, we'd have a 2 here. I can't see any problems with that. 2 there gives us a 3 here. Then... No, I don't think it really constrains that at all. Okay. 7 here would require an 8 in this cell. Wouldn't allow an 8 there, so you'd have 8s in those positions. And not necessarily there, no. No, I don't know quite what I'm looking at here. Why can't I see a way through this? There must be something going on here. I'm missing a line or something somewhere. So this has to be higher than a 3. That's hardly helping. I mean, that could be anything except a 2. These are bigger than that. These are bigger than that. Oh, I'm totally missing the point here somehow. Oh, I'll tell you what, that can't be a 7 for a peculiar reason, because it would put 8s in those positions and there'd be nowhere for 8 in the central box. Odd, but true. Now, if that's 3, 5, or 6, this can't be 6 anymore. The only way for this to ascend is 3, 4, 5. And that would mean you'd have a 6 and a 3 here, and again a 7 and a 2 in these cells, which works okay. It's not ruled out by any of this. 3, 4, okay, so that can't be a 3. Could I rule a 3 out of here? No, I don't think so, because that can be a 2. Again, I'm missing some relations between these cells somehow. Six there would be much freer because these wouldn't have to both be the same, which was what was doing the business here. So that's not as constrained. 1, 2 goes up to this. These can be anything. Oh, where is there pressure that I cannot identify it here? What if this was an 8? Then you'd have 8 here. What would it do to... I don't know. I suppose that could only be a 2 then if this was a 4, but that's not something I can actually use in a deduction. If that was an 8, that would be 8. Then we'd have an 8 in one of those positions. Ooh, that would form an X-wing and make that an 8. Almost feels like it's beginning to get interesting there, but not quite enough. Crumbs, what on earth? Is this more constrained somehow? This cell that I think at the moment can be anything from 2 to 7. Now, if that was a 7, we'd definitely have an 8 here. 6R. Then it would have to go down to a 5 here. I don't think it can be a 7. Right, let me just check this. If this was a 7, we'd have an 8 here. That's not so much the issue. It would have to go down to a number here. Oh, that could be a low number. Could be a 3. Actually, this is at least a 3. 3, 4, 5. That's the most it can be. We've got 1 and 2 used in the column. Right, I should have looked at this cell. 3, 4 or 5 here. 5 is the most it can be because we need to fit in 3 there. Right, so if that was a 7, then this is going to have to be a 3. That's an 8. That's an 8. Ah, it all works. Maybe it's hard for this to be a 7. Let's try that, which puts an 8 here. Now that couldn't be an 8, so you'd have 8 here, 7 here, but now these would have to be... Yes, that is absolutely intriguing. Right, 7 doesn't work here, because since you can't go up to a 9 in one of these, because of the 9 there, you'd have to come down to both of them. You'd have to come down at least 2 steps to somewhere between 2 and 5. And they can't be between 2 and 5 because there's no distance of 4 in any two numbers between 2 and 5, which is what you need to fit in 3 here. If they were 2 and 5, you could only fit in 3 and 4 there and not a third number. So that's not 7. So that's not 6. Now we've got a 3, 4, 5 triple. Wow, I do not find that easy to see. 6 there. This must be 7 now. So that gives us an 8. That 8 means 8 is in one of those 2 cells and not there. That gives us an 8 here. Now we know where 2 is. Oh, and that 2 just stops. Maybe the 8. The 8 stops as well. It puts 8 in one of those 3, but that's not helpful. Right, but we've got something done. Right, now this 7, this can't be 5, because although you could go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, this would be impossible. Is that the way to look at it? This can't be a 5. No. Sorry. The really simple way to look at it is this has to be lower because these digits are all on the line between higher numbers, 7 and 9. So that has to be the lowest number. Right, that's the 3. We've got 4, 5, 6 triple there. This can't be 1, 6, 2, 9, 8 or 3, so that's 4, 5 or 7. 8, 2, 7, 1, 9, that's 3, 4 or 5. Ah, where does 3 go in box 4? It doesn't go here because that can't be lower than 3. So in fact 3 does go there. So we've now 8 doesn't go here. 8's on the circle. These are from 4, 5, 7. Right, 8 on the circle. What does that do to these? This has to be at least 4 below it. So it's 2, 3 or 4. Now these have to bound a number which is again 3, 4 or 5. And I'm absolutely not even close to suddenly being finished with that. Right, that can't be 8. How about that? 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. So these are from 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 9, 2. One of these is an 8. Do we know anything about 8 here? No, not at all. 2 at the top. I think it can be in any of those places. 3. 3 can't be there now. But it could be on the line if that's a 2, or in the circle if it's a 3. But that can't be a 4, because then you could never fit 3 into the column. So that's 2 or 3. Now this can't be 2 or 3, because you could never get anything between them. So it's not 2, which means the 2 in the row is there, not here. The 2 in the bottom row is here. One of those is a 2. This is a brilliant puzzle. I mean, I've done a few between lines before, but it's now suddenly clear to me. I've never understood how they worked. Whereas Codec is making it clear to some extent, gradually, how between lines works. Right, so this is 5 or 6. But that's higher than this. Therefore, that is higher than that. Hang on. So this can't be 5 because of that. Yes, that's definitely true. 3 or 4 there. Does that mean this is definitely higher? 6, 5, 4, 3. This can't be 3. That's stupid. Yeah, it can't. It can't. I just want to check. Right, so now I've got a 4, 5 pair. That is a 3. Unsurprisingly, and possibly unhelpfully, that is a 3. Right, this can't be a 3 now because of that being higher. So we've got a 5, 6 pair. We've got a 4, 5 pair there. So that is 6 or 7, which works perfectly with the 5, 6 pair, annoyingly. This is 6, 7 or 8. This is 6 or 7 to get up to the 8. And now we've got a 6, 7 pair. So that's 8. This is 7. Ooh, come on, keep going. This is where 3 goes in row 6. 8 is definitely in one of these two cells in box 8, therefore not here. We can place 8 there. 3 is in one of those two. Where's 3 in row 8? Not there because of that. Not here because of the line, and the same is true here. Not here because of that, and not there because of that. So we can place 3, which doesn't get anything else done, as so often, but it does place the 3. Oh, that means 3 is in one of these two positions in box 8. So it's not there, and it is here. And we've got 4, 5, 6, and 7 to place in in box 7. 3's in one of these two positions, and the between lines don't resolve that at all. Still got 4, 5, 6 and 7 to place. In box 9, in column 9, we've still got a 2 to place here as well. 8, 3, oh look, we've got a 5, 6 pair here, so that's not 5 or 6. That is also 4 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 4, 7, 5, 6 to go. So it's not an 8 there, obviously. So 2 and 8 are just crying out to be resolved. Oh, now what next? Wow, there's not a step of this puzzle that I find easy. Right, I guess one of those, yeah, one of these is a 4 and one of these is a 7. And that means that one of these sequences goes 4, 5, 6 and one of them goes 5, 6, 7. No. So, which one is right and which one is wrong? And is that what we have to look at next? There's a 3 down here somewhere. I don't know. That can't be 4 anymore because it's bigger than 5 or 6. It can't be 5 either. Ah, so we've got a 6. I don't know that that helps. No, I cannot see. Can't see a way through this. Let me just oh look, 6 and 7 looking at that cell. Good grief, 8 there. Well, that's a start. So that's where 8 is at the top, not here. That doesn't resolve the 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. That really didn't tidy anything up, did it? Ah, if this was a 6 now, these would both be 7s. What does that do? That gives us a 7 there, a 7 in row 7 there, then we get a 7 up there. No, we get a 7 there, so they're all resolved. And a 7 there. Oh, that can't be a 7. So that is possible if that's a 6. And that, annoyingly, it didn't break. Whereas this is a lot less constrained as a 6. If you have a 5, 6, 7 this side, you get 6 there, 7 there. Ah, that puts the 7 in column 1 here. That gives you... It gives you a 6 here and a 4, 5 pair here. Oh, and it gives you a 6 here. There's, yeah, if this goes 5, 6, 7 this side, that becomes a 7 for column 1. And that becomes a 6. Now, you've got 6s here, here, and here. And there is nowhere to put a 6 in box 9. That works. So that is not the 5. That's the 4. So it goes 4, 5, 6 that side. It goes 5, 6, 7 that side. That is not easy, but that was interesting. 7 there. So that's not a 7. Oh, and there's no 5s in this box. So in fact, 7 is there now. So are we... Maybe that... Oh, this was the way that the 7's resolved, just as I was sketching it out. So 7 can't be there or there. That's a 7. They're not. And they're not 6s either. They're a 4, 5 pair. That's become a 4. Chocolate teapot triple across row 8, i.e. useless. That's 3 or 6 now. That's 3 or 5. That is the definition of a chocolate teapot quadruple. Utterly useless. That can't be 7 though. Now, in fact, there's a 4-5 pair here, so 6 in the corner. This is a 6-2 pair. They're resolved. Go on, you good thing. 2, 9, 6, 1, 8. So 3, 4, 5, and 7 these are from. 2, 4, 5 here. 3, 4, 6 here. I don't care that I'm sketching in all the candidates because there's not that many left, frankly. Now, there must be something on the lines that I am not picking up. Come on. Maybe not. Maybe it's not on the lines. Right, 4 and 5 there are done. So that has become a 4. So that's going to decide where 4 is in column 1. Ooh, oops, that was a misprint. This one is a 4. There we go. So we've got a 6 there. 3. These whole teapot triples and quadruples are all sorted out. Look, those bottom 3 boxes are done and they look right. And now the bottom 6 boxes are done in a jiffy. 2 and 5 there. We don't need a 5 in those. That can't be 3, that can't be 4, that can't be 7. These, we've got rid of 3, so we can resolve them. And that does that triple. Oh my goodness, home straight time. 6 or 4, yes. 5 and 7, that does 2 and 5. This is now 2 and 3. And 1 pair left. What a brilliant puzzle. And what fun that was all the way through. That is just so elegant and clever. And I don't know if that step was necessary here. Let me know if there was something a bit easier. That, after, it was mountain upon mountain of difficult steps in that puzzle. And that was the hardest of all for me to see. I was probably a bit slow on some of the stuff earlier, like not spotting that 8 on the line, for instance. But that looked hard at the end. I don't know. That's my feeling, is that's how it was. Really interesting puzzle. I hope you had a go, and I hope you got through it if you did. But I suspect you didn't do it quickly. Let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested. And as always, thank you very much for watching on Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.